visible to you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you. I again welcome you all for this robotic process automation bootcamp, which is for 2 days. And this initiative we have, started exclusively for this academia in partnership with Blue Prism. So now let me switch further. Like this will be the agenda for the day. I'll just go take you through this introduction of RPA, then to your Blue Prism tool, and we'll even download the Blue Prism tool, and then I'll take you through the process studio for the day. If time permits, I'll just give you the overview of Object Studio, but I'll not take much time of your time in this theoretical part, which is introductory. Okay, so once I'll just wrap this introduction soon, and we'll just switch to our hands-on session. These 2 days will be completely hands-on. Once we download our tool, Blue Prism tool, then we can get started with our hands-on sessions. Okay, so yep. So what is the RPA? Like, by hearing this terminology called robotic process automation, what first comes to your mind? Can I get some answers from the participants? And yep, before starting the session, let me tell you one thing, that I don't want my sessions to be a one-sided sessions. Okay, let's have an interaction. Let's have this interaction session so that you can take much out of me.
Sorry to interrupt you, Hemant Kumar.
Yes, please.
All the participants are not given the speaker mic. They cannot converse.
Give in the chat box, sir.
They can do only on the chat box.
Yeah, that's fine. The chat is open for me.
Okay.
So now I request the participants, when you heard this terms called robotic process automation, or when you see this RPA, what comes to your mind? I want to understand, like, you can put the message directly in a chat, like to everyone, not personal messages to me, like direct messages. It's an automation. Okay. So let me change the question, something like, do you think the bots what we create, or the digital workers what we create here, are a physical one, or a virtual machine, or we create it on a virtual machine? What do you think? Great. So here, whatever the digital workers or the bots we create it on a virtual machine. Will not be having any sort of physical robots here. Okay. So the reason behind asking this question is, like, whenever I take trainings outside or the sessions outside, I just get queries like, so do we have sort of physical robots here? Do we have any physical robots here? So this is a technology where we don't have any physical robots. We just have robots which work on a virtual machines. Okay, a software robots. Okay, so now let's see what is this RPA basically. Like, let's see the definition of it. See, this technology is easiest technology what I can say. Yeah, thanks for your answers. Yep. So let's compare now this technology. Like, when you compare this RPA with our different technologies, let's say AI. So in AI, what you have to do if you want to have build a model, or let's say ML, if you want to build any sort of you know models, then what you do, you have to write a code for it, right? You use your Java, or you use your Python. Mostly Python has been used, and yeah, Java will also be used to write your codes and build your models, right? So here in this technologies, you'll not be having any sort of coding. It's a code free technology, or we can say low code technology. Basically, this technology is called as a low code technology, where we have drag and drops. We have predefined stages in our Process Studio and Object Studio. You'll come to know what is this Process Studio, why do we use this Process Studio, and what is this Object Studio and why do you use this Object Studio in our next slides. But here in this Process Studio and Object Studios, we have some certain predefined stages. With the help of that predefined stages, we build the digital workers. And yep, you'll get a hands-on even on this all the stages what are available for us in our Process Studio and our Object Studio. Okay, so let's talk about RPA now. Let's see the definition of this RPA. So this is the definition of RPA. The process of automating the business operations, business operations or a back-end process, whatever the process is there, which can be automated without interventions of this human being, is said to be your robotic or process automation. Okay, so let me repeat this sentence, or let me repeat this definition once again. The process of automating business operations with the help of the robots without any human interventions is said to be robotic process automation. Okay, so are you all clear with this definition of RPA? So can I get some answers in the chat? Yep, thank you. So as mentioned, we don't have any sort of physical robots here, but we completely work on virtual. We have a software digital workers and software bots, which we make use of them, and we execute our processes. Okay, so now let's see why and how this name called robotic process automation has been given to this technology. What do you guys think? Why this name might become like robotic process automation? Why this name was given to this particular technology? What you guys think? Okay, so let me take over it. So here you can see, yeah, it's automate, but the terminology is given, right? Robotic process automation. Why this terminology has been given, like robotic process automation? It can be some any other, right? So let's see why this has been called as a robotic process automation now. So here you can see in the definition what I told, we create a digital workers or the back-end processes, or business operations are been automated without any human interventions, right? So here the robotic is nothing but wherever a action of a human being is mimicked, that is known as a robotic, right? So that is what a robotic, the first term, then the process. Now let's say uh, while we create this digital workers, we follow some defined step-by-step procedures, right? For example, when I'm logging into a account, when I'm logging into my LinkedIn accounts or a Facebook account, or any sort of social media accounts or anywhere, what I do, I follow some step-by-step procedure. Like first I enter my username, then I enter my password, then hitting on a login button. Right? We follow some set of process here, like set of steps. In the same way, while we create this digital workers, we follow some set of steps, and the steps what we follow, the same this digital worker executes in the same manner. This digital worker executes. That's the reason we have a term called process in this terminology. Okay, so then we have a automation. Why it is called as automation? As you all know, the actions whatever are performed by a robots without an human interventions are said to be automation, right? So in this way, and this is the reason behind this technology getting the name as robotic process automation. So is it clear for all, or do you have any sort of queries? Guys, is it clear? Yep, thank you. And yep, if you have any sort of queries in between, you can post it in the chat. We have our mentors with us, who is Varsha and Vaishnavi from Smart Interns. They'll be clearing your doubts in your chats, and even the chat window is open with me. If you don't get queries answers from there, I'll be helping you. Okay. So now let me move to the next slide. So here I have given some areas or a sectors where this RPA can be applied. This RPA can be applied in many sectors. I cannot name one, two, three, but I have given here a 5 sectors where this 5 sectors is been used in our daily life. Any one out of it we come across in our daily life, right? See, banking. You know, banking is a common thing. We used to use banking services, or we go to the bank in our daily life once per day. We get work on this banking sector. In that way, I have listed down 5 sectors where we get or where we usually make use of. Okay. So now first we have a banking sector. So I'll not take much of your time. I'll just give a one example, and then we'll switch to our use cases. So here, banking. I'll help you with a small, yeah, okay. Tell you a small example of healthcare and a banking. Okay. So here I'll help you with a small example on how this how this RPA can be implemented in a banking sector. So when you go to a bank or to open your account, what you do, you fill sort of forms, right? You have a form there to open a bank account. You have a form which you need to fill it out, and then this form has been processed by the team. Again, that is a manual work. The form, whatever you have filled, they see the form and they make entry of the details of customer into their softwares, and then the process has been carried out to open the account, which is done manually and a time taking process, right? So now in this place, if you how you can implement this RPA, I'll help you. You are a customer fills your form and gives to a employee over there in the bank. Now employee is entering the details of a customer manually, right? Rather than you go manually, you can use this digital workers which are built with we make use of intelligent digital workers here. So which scans the process, scans the form, extracts the wordings from there, or extracts the information from the form and gets the information to their local desktop, and from that local desktop they switch that information to your softwares, like let's say banks have their own softwares, right? So to that forms the information has been shipped automatically. Like here we use a technique called OCR. We create a digital workers inbuilt with OCR. Intelligent automation is an automation which is built using 2 different technologies. Let's say RPA. We combine RPA plus some other technologies like AI, ML, IoT, or it might be any technique or a technology. If you're combining any technique or a technology with an RPA, then it comes under and build a bot. Then it is said to be an digital work. Then it is said to be an intelligent digital workers. Okay. So if you are randomly creating your VBOs or something like that, then it is called just a digital worker. If you go with some different technologies or different techniques with your RPA, then it is said to be a intelligent digital workers. So here what this intelligent digital workers does, with the help of the OCR, it extracts the text from your form. It gets all the information from the form to a local disk or a local system, and from that local system it is switched, it has been switched to your softwares. So this is how what happens. The work which is done manually by a human being is been reduced. Okay. So are you clear with this example? So participants, is it clear for you? Okay. So now, as a participant has requested for a healthcare, let me switch to a healthcare here. So what do you do when you go to your hospitals, or before going to hospitals, what do you do? Generally, when you go to your hospitals, you take an appointment of a doctor before going there, right? You usually take an appointment, and you might come across the chances like, you have an appointment of a doctor at a particular time, but you have gone at that particular time to your hospital. By when you reach to a hospital, you come to know that your doctor has not been there. Did you come across the situations? Yep, right. So here in this healthcare sector, we can use this RPA and implement this digital workers in this appointments. Okay, how this helps, I'll explain you now. So now let's say I have booked an appointment. Okay, I have been given an appointment at so and so time by a so and so doctor. Okay, so now I have been visited to my hospital, and at that time, if the doctor is not been available, or the doctor is, doctor got and some emergency case, so what happens, we get a period notification there. Okay, we get a notification. Such things are two types. You get a notification with two options. One option is to reschedule your appointment automatically, or the other option is something like, let's say in some particular department we have different sort of doctors, right? So the main doctor is not available, you can consult with some other doctor with that option. So now here what happens, the revisiting for the hospital is reduced, right? If it's an emergency to you, or like you cannot reschedule your appointment, you have to for sure, you want to meet your doctor. So here what happens, your doctor is not available. So if you don't have this options of or notifications, what you do, you have to go back and you all have to come the next day. But here what happens, by implementing this, it directly checks for the doctor. If the doctor is not available, it gives you option like to meet some other doctor, right? So here what happens, it is helping you with a prior information that your doctor is not there, and it is giving you an even chance that to reschedule or to meet some other doctor or to consult some other doctor. You are getting a period notification before reaching out there or something like that. Is it clear how this bots are implemented in healthcare industry? Guys, is it clear, or do you have any sort of queries? I'll give you a example of IT here, IT sectors, like let's say some companies. Let's say our company. I'll take example of our company in my next slide. Okay. Take. Now let's switch to some other side. The only reason behind not explaining all the sectors is, I don't want to waste the time in introductory part. I want to switch all the participants to hands-on, because we even have to download the software, right? So it will take a bit time. That's the reason. So now, I have listed down some use cases here, which is like hiring and onboarding, data scraping, web automations, creating and delivering your invoice, and payroll automations. Okay, these are some real-time use cases which you generally see. You can see this automations anywhere. Like the industries which have been implementing this automation, you first they do with these things, they first implement in their HR department for your hiring process and for your payroll process for the importance, because this hiring and payroll is a tough job for your HR department. So here I'll explain you the hiring process. Now let's say we are in company and we have posted a job for hiring 5 people, okay, in ML domain. If we have some, if we have 5 openings, do you think I will get only a 5 applications for that opening? Obviously no, right? I'll be getting some sort of hundreds to thousand applications for this 5 openings. Now what I do, I have to sit, like our department, HR department has to sit and go through the resumes and then go through the each and every resume and then check for the qualification. They have if they possess some minimum requirement, or if they process the skills what the company requires, they select the person and switch to the second round. This all this process switching to the first round, then they take the first round and then they move the candidates, the selected candidates, to the round 2. All this process are done manually, right? And time taking process. To let's say for this 5 applications, 5 openings, you got some 100 applications, so let's say 1,000 applications. Now verifying all these 1,000 applications, and you will be shortlisting some around 200 or 100 applications out of this 1,000. Do you think is it a easy task? And it's not an easy task, and it's a time taking task, right? So here what we do, we create a bots where we give some set of skills to it. Whatever the resumes we get, this bot, we schedule this the working of this bot event. So at that particular sort of instance, or at that particular sort of has, this bot goes, executes by itself, checks all the resumes what it has received, marks the resumes which suits with the skill set we have given, and gives us separate, and it separates into a 2 folders, shortlisted and unshortlisted. We can create all these steps, we can create this process, the entire flow. See, working of this digital workers is our duty. Like it is nothing but we can build this digital workers according to our plan or our requirement. Okay, now let's say I want this applicants to be separated, selected applicants and non-selected applicants. What my bot does now, goes checks for all the applications what I have received. It separates my applications like selected and not selected, right? So the people who have selected, we can shoot out the mail that you have. It's again an automated process. Okay, I'm not talking anything manually. So this mail is been shooted out automatically that you are selected and your first round is in so and so time or so and so date. So here what happens, the workload what is there on your HR department, or a person sitting out there in your HR departments, that has been reduced. This is how these digital workers are helping our HR departments. Is it clear? Yeah, thank you. And data scraping is nothing but getting the data from your website automatically. The digital workers automatically navigates to some set of websites what we want. It navigates to our website, it scraps the data from there and stores the data in your local DB. Okay, you can store this data in your database, or even you can store this data in your Excel files. Again, it's your choice. That is what the web scraping is. When it comes to automation anywhere, sorry, when it comes to your web automations are nothing but uh, automatically let's say social media. I'll give you an example of social media bots here. So let's say I'm working in a marketing department, like social media department, where we have to marketing uh, department, and there we have to manage a social media platforms of some X company. So what we have to do, we have to create a posters and shoot out this particular posters in some particular sort of time. So we have a regular timetable or a schedule with us, right? So in this sort of schedule, we have to push out the post of this particular company in all their social media handlers. So like me randomly going, like me manually going and switching to their social media platforms, or I mean logging into their social media platforms, posting this post, it's again a manual work and hectic work for us, because we have some XY clients with us. We don't have only a X client, right? We have some X, X1, X2, X3. We have n number of clients. If the schedules are clashing, then we have to manage the work. So what we can do, we can create a bots here where we can schedule a timing for this digital worker. It automatically picks the post what we have created from a folder. It posts it it automatically gets logged into that social media account and posts the post there. Is a small example of your web automations. Okay. Are these three examples clear for you? The hiring process, data scraping, and the web automations. Are you all clear with this? Great. Thank you. So now these are some of the benefits. Like, as I've told, the efficiency is obviously more when compared to a manual work, right? And accuracy, great. Then, when a person or when a work is done manually, we usually do some errors, right? If the work is done by a bot, when you compare a work done by work done by a manual or a human being and the work done by a bot, the accuracy is much higher with your bots, right? That is what improved accuracy, then lower operational cost. Then you might already getting that by hearing that benefits. Operational costs, we don't want much to be spend on this. Like, if you want to create a digital workers, you want to have a knowledge which is a free of cost, right? Again, a software, just you need to pay for the software. That's it. The rest, you don't need to pay anything. Everything has been there for you in the software, right? So low operational costs and richer data analytics. So whatever the bots we create, and whenever this bot runs or whenever these bots are getting executed, you get analysis of, you can find all this analysis in your analytics. We have a separate option for this, like analytics, or a dashboard, where you can find all the graphs of the work queues. What are the flows you have in a work queue, you can find. So how many are pending to work, how many are yet to execute, or how many have got successfully execute, or how many have occurred an exception during their performance or executions. All these things we can find it in a go. When we just switch to the section, we can find everything in there. Bar graphs, or we can change the graphs accordingly. We can find it in bar graphs, a pie chart. All these visualizations are there in tool itself. So that is one of the benefit. And their higher employment productivity and satisfaction is one of the key benefit. And as it's easier to learn, or any any participant or any human being, from a technical or a non-technical guy, can easily adopt this particular technology. So that is what here it is, easier and agile process. Like, he can adopt easily this technology and can build this digital workers. Anyone, when you compare when you compare working with artificial intelligence, what happens, you have to have this period knowledge on codings and all the things. And you have to sit with this coding, you have to learn your coding first, then you have to get your hands on, or you have to get your complete knowledge on your artificial intelligence. And then something like machine learning, you have to get and deep learning, all these things, right? So but here it's not something like that, right? It's an easier one. So you don't if you are not even from a technical background, if you just sit for a week or something like that, you'll just understand how to build a basic bots. Once you get knowledge on building your basic bots, then while by yourself you can learn many things. Once you get a basic knowledge of your tool, basically here in this technology, what is the main thing is you have to understand the features provided by the particular bot. That is a main, sorry, particular tool. That is the main task over there. If you understand the features, if you have a basic understanding of what this RPA is, then that's enough for you. You can, play with the spots. So these are some sort of benefits for you. So before switching to my next procedure, what do I follow in all my sessions? I just want to confirm if in the session do I have only a students or a fact, like do I have anyone else out of academia?
Faculty are also there, sir.
That's fine. Like I have only a academy people from here, right? That is like students and faculties, not
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
others. Right, great. So here what happens is like Blue Prism is offering a course, a free course for all the students and educators, where you can learn all the fundamentals. Obviously this 2-day sessions I can give a basic for you, but not the complete knowledge, right? So here what we do is like this Blue Prism University has given some fundamental course, a free fundamental course, where I'll show you the process how to enroll for this fundamental course. And personally suggest or I request all the participants who are there here for me to please get registered or enrolled for this fundamental course, where you can understand the fundamentals of this Blue Prism. Entire Blue Prism you will be understanding. So now here let me switch to this Blue Prism University. Okay, so here we go. I hope my screens are visible to you, right? Like my Chrome tab is visible to everyone, right? Yeah, thank you. So here I request all the participants to navigate to www.blueprism.com. Okay, the same link I'm just forwarding to you all in the chat. So I have forwarded the link to you all in the chat. Please get the link from the chat. So here what happens now, once you switch or navigate to this Blue Prism University, if you are a first user, obviously we have to create our accounts, right? To create your account, you have to just click on this login option which has been given here. Then it takes you to a login page, right? As we are a first users, like first time users to this Blue Prism University page, or Blue Prism page, we have to click on this sign up here option and create our account. Okay, when you click on the sign up here options, you can see it's asking for a form there, right? You can give your email ID here, you can give your username, whatever the username you want to give. You can give the username here. Then your passwords, like you can set whatever the password you want to set. Just give your password here, and then give your first name and the last name, your job title. Now here this question comes again, job title. If you are in faculty, you can you can give your designations over there. And if you are a student, don't worry, your job title is a student. Okay, as you are pursuing, your job title will be as a student. Just enter your job title as a student if you are a student, and select your country and just accept the term. Click on create your account. Okay, this is how we can create our accounts in your Blue Prism University. Now let me go back and quickly log in into my account. Okay, as I already have an account in this, I'm not creating any sort of accounts here. So when you log in into your Blue Prism portal, you'll be land onto this page where it gives you three options. One is Blue Prism University, one is your support section, and one is your Blue Prism community. Now Blue Prism University is a place where you get all your free courses. Like it is nothing but an LMS. Okay, here Blue Prism online support is nothing but like when you have stuck somewhere, you can support, or if you have any queries regarding the product, you can approach your support. And here is a big opportunity, or a great opportunity, like Blue Prism community. this community has been divided into two categories, guys. So one is your university community, like the community which is related to your Blue Prism University, and one community is where global community. Okay, if you can even be part of this communities if you have any sort of queries. Let's say you're working on some process, or let's say you're working on some sort of digital workers, and if you are stuck somewhere, then you can just post your queries in this community. In no time, we'll get a response for this, or at least we'll get some suggestions how to clear your uh, you know errors, or the things how to get rid of your work what you have stuck. Okay, so this is the help of your Blue Prism communities. I recommend you all to please do join these communities. You'll get our latest updates, you'll get your you will even be able to solve all your queries there. Okay, now let's keep the support and this community aside, and let's move with our Blue Prism University. So here is a Blue Prism University. Now this Blue Prism University offers a different features. Again, you have a LMS here where you can see all your free courses. A certification is nothing but when you click on this certification, all this all the certification exams which are related to your Blue Prism University, or sorry, which are related to your Blue Prism, can be seen over here. You have different sort of exams. Initially we were not having associate level exams. We are directly having AD01 and ADP01. Okay, but now what they have done, they have added a new exam which is an associate level exam. Before writing your AD01 exam, you can write your associate level exam. Okay, that is one sort of benefit they have added to our certifications for the academia people. Okay, so then these are the rest things we can leave. I was talking about your community, like learning community, which is your university community, right? This is what your university community is. Okay, so the earlier one which I've shown a Blue Prism community was your global community, and this is your Blue Prism community. Okay, now let's switch to our LMS. To get your all free courses, you have to switch on to your LMS. And guys, when you for the first time when you switch to this Blue Prism LMS, you will be asked with some basic information like your company name and all these things. Company name is nothing but your college name, your titles, and your area will be asked. Just give that general information and click on submit. So once you click on the submit, you will be taken to this page. Okay, these are Blue Prism LMS. Now you have to go to this online courses. You have to click on this online courses, and here you can search for your course. I'll even give the course link in your chat. No, it's a foundation, not fundamental. It's a foundation. Blue Prism Foundation Training is a course name. So if you just complete this course, a foundation course, you'll get your hands-on complete, you'll get a complete idea on this foundation course. So I'm just giving this link. I'm directly giving this link in the chat, which will be helpful for you people. And I strongly recommend all to please enroll for this course where you'll be getting all your fundamentals, like all your foundation training here. Okay, even I'm just giving your course name here. Blue Prism, Blue Prism Foundation Training. Okay, this is the course name, right? So is the process of enrolling into your Blue Prism course, like a Blue Prism Foundation course, is clear for everyone? Like how to get registered on your Blue Prism portal and to your Blue Prism Foundation training. Is it clear for all? Can I get a response in a chat, please? Great, thank you. And now we'll just switch back to our first page. Okay, the page, this one.